welcome to Talkin' Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. Well, just like LSU, Wisconsin has two quarterbacks who have been vying for the starting job. And I'm glad to welcome in on this Wednesday, Jesse Semple of Fox Sports Wisconsin for insight from the Badger State. Hi, Jesse.
Hey, how you doing, Rachel?
Doing great. Well, let's start off with the quarterbacks. Joel Stave is number 10 in passing yards in Wisconsin history, and last year he started all 13 games. But we've also got Tanner McAvoy, who played safety last year. So, is there a realistic chance at this point that McAvoy could overtake Stave? That's what you've been hearing, right?
Yeah. Well, at this point, McAvoy has overtaken Stave, and it's certainly been an interesting competition because the first 2 weeks of fall camp was open to the media, and it looked like Stave had the job won because he's been the most consistent passer. But I think McAvoy closed the gap a little bit, especially during the portion of practices that were closed to the media. And he presents a different dynamic for this team because he's a dual threat guy who can roll out of the pocket and run some option. That's something this coaching staff has wanted since it arrived in Madison about 2 seasons ago. So they're going to give him the nod and see what he can do. But he has not thrown a pass in a Division I game. And as you mentioned, Stave was a starter last year and even the year before. He's got 19 career starts. So this is going to be kind of a new era for Wisconsin, it looks like.
So McAvoy being that kind of dual threat is really what's drawn attention from Gary Anderson and the staff?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's not to say that he can't pass. Obviously, he has to be quite capable in that area. His delivery is a little funky, a little unique, but he seems to get the ball out and get it there quick enough. But yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to have another dynamic threat. Gary Anderson always talks about having a quarterback who can beat you with his mind, with his arm, and with his legs. And that third part is extremely important. When Gary Anderson was at Utah State, his quarterback, Chucky Keaton, had all three of those elements, and he helped Utah State finish 11-2 and be ranked in the top 25, which was the first time that had happened in about 4 decades. So that's a formula for success that Gary Anderson is used to, and that's one they're going to try with McAvoy. Now, we'll just have to see how successful that is against LSU's defense.
And the Badgers certainly have running backs who can move their legs as well. We talked about that earlier in the week. So, and Jesse, Wisconsin also has an entirely new starting front seven that'll have quite a task to defend LSU's running game. So, how could the Badgers pull off a win over the Tigers?
You mentioned the starting front seven, and it is completely different as far as guys that were starters last year. If you look at the Wisconsin starters in the South Carolina game, the last game of the season, the Capital One Bowl, it's completely different. Having said all that, this front seven is all made up of guys that have significant playing experience. Derek Landish is a linebacker. He's played in 38 games. That's more than anybody else on the defense, even though he only has 3 starts. So I think this front seven is going to be plenty good and likely another top 20 defense. It's just the fact they don't have some household names. One of the guys off last year's team, Chris Borland, kind of became a legendary figure here, and now he's with the San Francisco 49ers. But in terms of what Wisconsin has to do to win the game, I think some of it is a little bit cliched in that they can't turn the ball over. They can't make unforced errors that give LSU opportunities to score. And ball possession is going to be key. Wisconsin is a team that loves to run the ball, and with Tanner McAvoy, that's even more of a running threat that can eat up some clock. So the more they can keep LSU's offense off the field, the better. But Wisconsin has played plenty of big-time opponents, and it seems as though a lot of times, especially against these Power 5 teams, they come up short, but it's always a one-possession type of game. So they have to execute, especially in the fourth quarter when it matters most.
Well, we're certainly looking forward to a great season opener. Jesse, thanks so much, and enjoy the game.
All right, thank you.
And thank you for watching Talkin' Tigers. See you back here Thursday.